It is time for the most spoilerific show on YouTube. And if you have any requests for any topics, hit us up on Twitter. What up with your YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy TripleCup Chuck and I'm up. And you're tuning in to the Roy Vibration Podcast where we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. Welcome to our humble abode. Let's go. First up, we got a special guest here tonight for y'all. I want everybody, give a warm welcome to the I can't do it like X-Bite, but I'm gonna give him my best shot. Just go! Kiss that rain.
Right.
You know what? It wasn't the same, but I'm still going to take that sound bite later and I'm going to convert it into a keychain along with Bot's voice. Yeah, my name's The Don. I'm mostly known on a lot of gaming podcasts, that sort of thing, because of my background in game development. But a lot of influence from comic books and things like that. So Triple Cup invited me on, and I'm glad to hang out with you guys. If you're kind of curious what I do afterwards, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @TheDon_KTR. But outside of that, let's get to the podcast.
Okay, I'm with it. Professional. I like it. Next up, we got, when it comes to making this money, you got to make this money flip. Flip money, man. Go on, introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at.
What's going on, good people? You know how it is. It's your boy Flip Money, Xbox Live, the horror Vibration Podcast, Direct X. You know, it's all around, man. We all here, man. Let's do this. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I do it. I do it. Next up, we got a Destiny juggernaut, and yes, he the risen. He the risen from the grave. Man, Savage Carter, go on, introduce yourself and let them know they can find you at.
What up, people? You know, it's the Savage. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? You can find me at Savage Carter 225 on Twitter. You can even find me at Savage Carter on the Xbox. But don't ask me to play Destiny with you. I'm not gonna do that. But I want to say what's up to the KGB clan, and them the only people I'm playing with right now.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So Savage, what y'all been up to since you got the new clan, the KGB?
Yeah, the KGB.
Yeah. So what y'all looking like on Destiny right now?
Man, everybody trying to get their light level up. I mean, just about everybody in the game scrambling. A lot of people trying to do the raid. Some people, cheating doing the raid. Yeah. I'm not gonna expose that, but
I feel you on there.
Everybody doing whatever they trying to do to level up, and whatever y'all doing to level up, I'm doing my thing to level up too.
Right. So I heard that you and Flip, y'all been on that GTA.
Oh man.
Why you had to bring up the addiction, man?
You know we sensitive about our addiction with that GTA stuff, man.
I be trying to let it go, man. I be trying.
I mean, I was going strong, but it called me back earlier this afternoon. I'm just mute my mic. I'm muting my mic. Fuck that.
It happened to the best of us. It happened to the best of us. So Don, what games have you been playing? What you been up to?
Man, I've been on that Tomb Raider right now, and then it's meted all my expectations. It's the best out of all three of them. I'm liking the game. It's not a perfect game, but man, I'm having fun with it. They put a lot of work into it, and I like a good story-based game every once in a while. Like, we get sucked in games like Destiny and GTA, and I got sucked into Wildlands for a whole entire year until I finished the game finally, right? It's nice to have something with a beginning, middle, and end, and that's what that game offers, which my hat's off to them for sure.
Great game.
That's good game. Hey, so I haven't played it yet, so I know you'd have played the first Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, and now since you played this Tomb Raider, do you think this Tomb Raider has better fatalities than the other Tomb Raiders had. You know how Lord Corrupts, where you be going through the water and you be dodging the trees, and all of a sudden you get hit by something and it just jug you through the head and it just come out the back of your skull. And I mean, it'd be some Mortal Kombat gruesome looking stuff.
Man,
Like,
I don't die a lot, so I don't know.
oh, you gotta raise the
Ah.
difficulty level then.
Yeah, no, it does have some of that sort of stuff, and it always catches you off guard because you're being impaled by something. In regards to that, pro tip: if you are doing that, they are doing a photo contest. You can actually pause it just right before the screen changes color, when it shows that you're dead, and you can go into photo mode, and sometimes you can change the expressions on Laura's faces. So you can actually make her smile like she's happy with a spike through her head and take a screenshot and stuff like that. But no, it's the same thing. I don't think they evolved that portion of it though. It's more of the same as far as that's concerned. So.
Oh, well, that's what's up. And Flip, you've been playing it too, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hey, so what you think about it?
Well, on Twitter I gave it a 9.5, and people said, "Well, what, just a 9.5?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, no game is perfect though, but I'm saying, like, I'm hearing that this is the end. This is the end of this chapter of her life. I guess they're gonna go to the next one as her older. It's sad that people are hating on this game as good as this game is. Like, I don't care what system that it's on. Like, I don't understand why people's hating on this game. Like, it's on every platform. So what's the problem? Like, this game is good. Like, I play the game. I'm like, yo, I think I'm almost near the end of this game. I hate to say that, and you could kind of tell. Sometimes you could kind of tell with certain games that you're near the end, and I think I'm near the end. This game got replay value for me. Because once I beat this game, I'm going to go back and play it again and play it on a harder level. I'm playing it on normal. Don't kill me. But then I'm going to play it on the hardest level.
Did you see that you can change the difficulties for different things? So your enemy types can be a different difficulty than the puzzles.
Yeah.
You can break it down that way. So what I like to do is I like to turn the puzzle difficulty off. Like I mean not off, but I don't even want any aids at all. I want it to be the hardest as possible. So when I'm like traversing an area or solving a puzzle, there's no white marks on those areas to kind of give you hints of where it's going on. You just kind of have to read the terrain. So you can play around with all that sort of stuff, which I thought was kind of cool.
You know what? I did see that. Now let me ask you something else that me and 100 was talking about yesterday, earlier today or yesterday. Anyway, we were saying that it was saying it was loading, like it was saying what was it saying? Like certain area of the game, as the game was going, it kind of frees up and it was spinning, saying screaming or something like that. I'm like, is it doing that because it really don't have no loading time? Because I really don't notice the loading unless when you turn the game on. Or
Yeah,
when
they
you die.
preload everything as much as possible on the game. There's areas also where it's saving, but it uses those times when it's loading stuff to save. But yeah, they try to make it as seamless as possible. But there's obviously hard cuts in there where they like whatever you finish an area, and next thing you know, you kind of go into another area, and then like you see like the little Tomb Raider logo, like the little TR in the little circle.
Yeah,
Going on there, but they try to make it as seamless as possible. I mean, can't avoid it no matter what. I mean, people have different hard drives connected to their machines and stuff like that, so there's always going to be something that's have to be loaded down the road. So,
I mean, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just that I just noticed that.
You noticed it.
Yeah,
I just noticed that shit. Like, yo, is I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, it's so seamless, so when it does have to load, you're like, what the hell? Is my game is it frozen? What's going on?
Right. I'm like, hold on, what the? And I just realized, like, wait a minute, this game ain't been doing no loading. So that's what made me ask that. Like, wait a minute.
Actually, the old Tomb Raider did something similar to that too. The Rise of the Tomb Raider, where it wasn't really loading, it just kind of had the little circle with the TR inside of it, and you kind of like it'll still go. The only part that was really loading is when you actually got down by the fireplace and saved the game and stuff like that, and changed the stuff.
I mean, they try to hide that stuff as much as possible. That's the general idea, because obviously, if you can have a more seamless experience, the more you engage that person that's playing your product. So I mean, that's kind of the general idea. But outside of that, I mean, it's a freaking phenomenal game.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're doing a good job at it. I'm gonna tell you that they're doing a good job at it.
Hey,
That's
so
all
you
I'm
got
saying.
immersed level into the game.
Man, I'm at
Right.
this point, and I'm not going to spoil it for anything. Like,
Hey,
literally,
you must have hit an intro. This is the most spoiler
Spoiler
show
shit in
on
this video.
YouTube. Spoil it
They know
all.
what they getting into when they listen to this.
no.
let them
I'm not going to spoil it for anyone because I love to talk about it after people experience it. And like, Flip, you know this, and people that play the game know this. The first 3 seconds grabs you before you even see anything on the screen. And I don't want to give anything away, but you're like, damn, why can't all games have that, like, kind of just put you in it like that? And then I'm at this part, man. I'm into some spooky places, man. I
know where you at. You don't even gotta say I know where you at.
You know
bro.
where I'm at, right? So
Where you at? I'm past that. I'm like, hold on, what the hell?
I'm like, oh man, this ain't right.
It ain't.
And I'm like, what am I fighting? And then you're like, oh, and then you're like, but it still creeps you out. And yeah, and they had like this cutscene that creeped me out even more. And I'm just like, oh man, just get me outside, get me out of here.
Inside of a tomb, like
it's part of the story part of it. There's tombs, like there's like these mini tombs everywhere. So when you talk, the way they have like these hub worlds, so like usually they're focused around like a little town or something like that. And when you talk to people, sometimes you unlock a tomb on the map.
Yes.
And technically you could go to them regardless, but you don't know where they are. They're kind of well hidden in plain sight sort of things. But what happens is it'll tell you where a tomb is. Now, usually like a lot of side missions, like talking to everyone, that part's kind of, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of boring and kind of don't care about their day-to-day life. But when they unlock those tombs, that's satisfying because once you go to one of those tombs, they're more puzzle-based like type things. But when you finish it, what you end up with is an extra ability to Laura. So you can do the game without doing the side tombs, but there's real benefits to doing the tombs outside of being fun. You actually get those side abilities, and I think it's just kind of a cool little perk for encouraging people to go find those tombs and then to go do them. So.
And this is another reason why I have to play this game again. Because it's like we all in here in this party can play it and get something a little different out of it. K Megan, I don't know, he found more tunes than I have that I didn't even know that he was doing side missions. Like he was talking about something, some of y'all may know what it is, something about tune with water and mirrors. I'm like, I never even experienced that. Like, where did you get that at?
I haven't experienced that. I've experienced the one with like the rotating chainsaw with like obsidian chunks of glass.
That sounds fun.
That rotates, and then things are on fire.
I didn't even experience that at all. See, I didn't even get to that.
It's good. Like I'm like, what? And then once you finish it, you unlock this ability. So when you draw your bow, you don't have to draw a new arrow each time you shoot. So when you draw your bow, you'll automatically have one arrow that's already drawn, and then 3 in your hand, the opposing hand that's holding the bow, and so you can basically rapid fire the bow shots, one right after the other, right after the other.
Yeah, I seen that perk, and I didn't even get that.
Yeah, so and that's why like as soon as I found out, because like the first area I accidentally skipped to tomb because I didn't realize I was progressing the story, and then went to the new area, so I can't go to that old tomb anymore, right? So now I'm in this area. I'm trying to go to as many tombs that are available because those perks are well worth it and make the gameplay even better. So,
hey, is it still kind of based like how the other one was, where you could choose like different categories of like that way you could craft your Lord Craft the way you want your Lord Craft to be? Like if you want her,
they have skill trees too. There's still skill trees, so when you earn skill points, you can apply it to perks in this way. But the tombs are different abilities altogether. Period. They're only available through tombs.
Nice. They still got the I used to call them finishing moves. Like when Lara Croft, you'll have somebody, you'll pin them down, and you pull a shotgun out, and you just
execution.
Yeah, they
still have that stuff. Like it's all a lot of that's built into the stealth mechanics now. So So like as soon as you find one of those like walls where you can tell like it's the roots you can hide in, and there's mud up against the wall, you instantly, almost like a reflex now, you look for the mud puddle where you can cover yourself up and look like Predator. Going.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, you know, because usually like, when you do some sort of weird camouflage thing in a game, it's not really camouflaged. Like you look at the item and then they kind of highlight you weird or do something, but enemies can't see you. This, you really blended in. Like you're truly blended into the wall. You can make out the character, but like how they got it to match is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
they did that. That's what's up right there. But $1 million question I need to ask you, Don. What system is you playing it on?
Oh, Xbox One X.
Oh, you playing it on the X?
Mm-hmm.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, X is gonna give it to you. I mean, I have my PS4 Pro as well, but like, you know, I really just have that machine to play the exclusives that I would miss out on the X,
like the Spider-Man,
that sort of thing, the God of Wars, those sort of games. So those are typically few and far between. But it's kind of nice when you're playing a campaign game. I don't get interrupted on that machine, like, because none of my friends are there. I just go on there, I play, do my business, and then I kind of more or less just kind of get off it. So
right. I mean, Sony is a movie studio, so you go to Sony to get a movie experience. So
I don't subscribe to that one. I mean, I think they do really well. They understand the whole story element telling process. So I think their studios know how to pitch that to them, and that's something that they're looking for because they've seen success, especially with Naughty Dog as a studio. So a lot of their studios are kind of following suit. But I don't necessarily believe that they're the only ones in town that can do that.
Oh, no. I ain't saying
they're just really good at pitching it to those guys, to be honest with you.
I said because they're a movie studio, like Sony's Pictures, you know, they known for making movies. So when I go to them with a state of this is what I'm expecting out of them to give me a movie experience. I ain't say they're the only ones do it. I just say that's what I expect out of them.
And their stuff is good stuff. I don't pretend like, you know, the other side doesn't have good products. They do have good products, and it's worth playing. You know, sometimes it gets overhyped. Sometimes certain things I feel don't get a fair shake as far as that goes. But I mean, it's worth owning their platform at this point, where they have enough exclusives built up over the 3 or 4 years it's been out to play their stuff. So,
right, I ain't gonna lie. Talking about overhyping something. Kaleidoscope really sold the shit out of Spider-Man PS4. He was the way he explained the game. He got me want to go play that now. So, like, you know, certain people could hype a game up too to make you want to play it, and it's actually a good thing sometimes. And sometimes you could do an overkill where people will be like, how they did No Man's Sky. Like if they wouldn't have hyped it so much, I think the game would have been acceptable, and then the price wouldn't have been so much.
People do that with anything, right? Like they do themselves a disservice. Like if they're in, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about Iron Fist and stuff like that. And if people overhype that and set a false expectation, people are not going to enjoy it. But if they're expecting one thing and they get something more or better than what they expected, they're going to probably get more enjoyment out of it. And so I think overhype is a problem within communities of really anything. It could be movies, it can be comic books, it could be video games. You know, obviously there's a bias that sometimes motivates that sort of stuff, and I don't think there's anything wrong with a bias as long as you don't let it completely blind you, if that makes any sense. As far as that goes. And you know, I looked at Spider-Man, and this is just my opinion, I looked at it as kind of that will do. As far as the first party like exclusive goes, I don't think it's the cream of the crop of what they've offered. As far as, you know, Sony goes, but it's definitely one of the better Insomniac games out there, is the way I would kind of word it. And if you want a good comic book game that's not Batman, because that's really the only decent one out there, it definitely scratches that itch, and it's definitely a good game. So,
right, I feel you. Hey, speaking about scratching the itch, man, let's dive into this Venom being PG-13 again, and have y'all seen a new trailer And what do y'all think? What is this gonna live up to Venom? Well, y'all know I said to the hype. Do y'all think they doing Venom justice, or do y'all think this is a money grab? So, Don, you the guest. You know, so I know that you probably have your own personal opinion about Marvel and DC. So, I would like to know, what do you think about this Venom?
I like the fact that they're doing something unique and new. You don't get a standalone kind of anti-hero movie a whole lot, especially within the in the Marvel realm of things. Even though Sony owns the movie rights to it, it's still associated with Marvel to a certain degree.
Right.
And I've told you my history with comic books. I don't have a lot of history in comic books, so I'm a lot more open to when movies come out and they do their iterations. I don't have those preconceived things that I like about something going into it. And I didn't know this, but Venom, I didn't know was a Todd McFarlane creation. And so my interest perked up a lot more when I found out that was the case with the Venom movie, and I'm excited for it. I don't think the PG-13 rating, I think it may hurt it. I may hurt it to a certain degree. I think people want to see maybe a Venom a little bit more unleashed. Does that make sense? And I just don't know if you can do that with a PG-13, like far as the hardcore comic book guys. Anything done from Todd side of things, I can see that being the case as well. They'll have to try to walk that line as closely as possible without pushing it over to, I think, get people to be okay with it. So,
I mean, to me, I'm gonna say my thoughts, but man, what about you, Savage or Flip? What y'all think? Because y'all, I know y'all have seen the news with the Venom.
You know what? I would have to agree with Don. PG-13, like I said before we went live. I like Venom, but I don't like as it like how they portray like a standalone. I always like the Venom when it came down with Venom and Spider-Man. Him by himself, I don't know, and I don't know if they can pull that off. Don't get me wrong, if they can, then that's what's up. All good. If it's a good quality movie, looking at it as being a movie buff or whatever, if it's a good quality movie, hell yeah, I would still check it out anyway. But can they pull that off? To me, I think that's kind of hard. I'm sorry, I just can't see it knowing the track record of Venom. I don't know how they will do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. I was real hyped when I first heard about Venom being rated R. Now it's PG-13. Man, what you think about that, Savage?
Bro, I'm gonna watch it on Cody.
Oh, you don't even care about the quality of it. You just want to see it.
Oh man. I'm right there with you, good brother. But damn, I wasn't expecting that.
I mean,
man.
hey, at Venom, at first, and when I first seen the trailer or heard about Venom, I was interested in Venom. I was like, okay, he one of the characters that I like. I wonder how they're gonna portray him. I put my little fan theory with the whole thing with Peter Parker going in outer space, and while they out there trying to fight Thanos, some of the symbiote get under Peter Parker foot, and they might just show just like a quick flash like that, and then they shoot to like the Venom movie, and they shoot the whole Venom movie without him in there. I'm like, yeah, it can't work without him. And then I'm looking at the trailer, I'm like, okay. At first I was like, they're going to look psychotic. Then it was like, then I went from that to I'm seeing how they portraying the Venom, and they portraying the Venom suits and stuff. I typically don't like the whole concept of like, what I'm saying. To me, they're gonna make it a cheesy, be safe type movie. It's the way it look like it's gonna be written. It's gonna be strictly A to Z, and they ain't gonna really touch on too many comic book topics. From my knowledge of Venom, they not portraying it in the right fashion at all. Then them being PG-13, they taking the hardcore thing of Venom that people want to see is Venom really be Venom, and without that, you really don't have no good movie. That's like Logan. It couldn't have been a Logan movie unless they let Logan be Logan. And that's the same way I feel about with Venom. And then they say they.
So let me ask you this, if you don't mind me asking. Originally, it was a rated R rating, and now it changed to PG-13. Is that correct?
Right.
Yep.
And then because
So what do you think they cut out to get that rating?
They did it because of this is why they did it, because of Spider-Man. They trying to be able to have it well. They can make a loop where Spider-Man can actually be a guest in there, like a three movie deal. So the thing about it is, if they can get Spider-Man in one of those movies, you know, it might boost up the sales or whatever like that. So instead of diluting it by going from rated R to having Spider-Man in the movie to dropping it to PG-13, they just trying to flat it all out the board and just do everything PG-13. Even from what it's looking like, that Morpheus movie gonna be PG-13. So it's gonna be one of those type of situations where right now they not gonna be no Spider-Man, but
No, Morpheus movie rated R.
no, that's gonna be PG-13. I just heard that they finna they trying to, that's why, because Venom was R2 at first. Now they trying to get all of them to come down to PG-13. I think it's more of a corporate move than anything.
Cutting out though in order to get that. You know what I mean? Because
obviously
there was a scene that made it rated R.
Well,
Venom
with them, 9 times out of 10, it's all the violence, like they did with X-Men.
Interesting.
Yeah, Venom bit the dude head off. No,
So
on the preview.
Probably just did creative cutting and didn't show his head getting bit off, but it suggests what happens.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Thing.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, pretty much they just took out the gore part of it. But that's what I really wanted to see. You know, I like it when it get actually gritty. So it actually gets you more immersed into what's going on. You know what I'm saying? At least for me. But on some immersion type stuff, you know, to actually really dive into a character, you need more of a time frame. You can't just do it all in 2 hours. So a lot of our favorite heroes and for Marvel and DC have their own series. If it ain't on Netflix, it's on Hulu or it's on network TV. So my question is to y'all: which one out of the DCEU or the Marvel season TV shows, which one is y'all most anticipating? Like, you know what I'm saying, like it could be the Flash, Black Lightning, you know, Gifted. It can go on and on, just as long as they have to do with like a superhero and it's ready to do another season this year.
You just asked a difficult question.
All of them. I'm waiting to see. No, I got it. I'm waiting to see Gifted. I want to see Flash. I want to see Black Lightning. I want to see even the shows on Netflix. All of them. I want to see all of them. Like, to me, it's like this. It's like living your childhood fantasy of seeing these characters come to life on the big screen or the little screen or whatever. Whether if I like it or not, like movies like the previous X-Men movies or some of the movies I did not like, but yet I still look at it to see if there's going to be any changes or if they're going to make it better. Because
hey, flip. More like, which one is you more anticipating? As in, like, may have been a change, like let's say Black Lightning, by them having a first season, you most anticipating Black Lightning season 2 to see if they could actually come big and better, or is you anticipating the Flash to say, will they shake back after the Thinker?
All of them for me, all of them. There's not one that I can single out because I like them all. I'm just curious to see what they all going to do. Like, I want them all to do real good because I like this shit. Like, oh man, this is what I like reading and stuff like that. So I'm anticipating for all of them to do good or see how well they are. All of them for me. Every last one of them.
Yeah, even I'm about to call it Misfits. The Runaways.
Yeah, even the Runaways. Yeah, even the Runaways. I want to see all that, yo.
Yeah, you good. All right, what about you, Don?
I'm sure we're gonna get into this later, but I finished Iron Fist. I want to see season 3. It's a lesser known character, so there's more mystery there. If you kind of know what I mean. Like, if you look at other Marvel characters, they definitely overshadow it. And I kind of want to know what the hell's going on because I don't understand what's going on, but I want to know. And they left you on a couple cliffhangers at the end of that season, and I want to know what's going on with the girl. I want to know what's going on with Danny Ray. You know, what the hell was that ending that they had on there? Like, I don't know, and that I'm going through the discovery like somebody that's new to the comic books.
Maybe I can help
with that character. So
Yeah, we gonna go. Hey, we gonna go deep sea diving on.
That's what I'm looking forward to. That you guys are talking about. But I'm looking forward to season 3 though. I'll have to wait.
This is like what they call like the 4 player of the show, where you kind of tease them with the topics that's going on, and then we're going straight back diving into Iron Fist, like all the way into it. But yeah, I feel you, because after I watched season 2, I was ready for season 3 now. All right, so what about you, Savage?
Let's see. The one I'm most anticipating right now.
Yeah.
I really can't answer that question. I really been thinking hard. Like
that's how I feel. Like it's so much shit, it's so much stuff that I want to know. Like, oh my god.
Because just about all these shows left off on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, The Gift was one. That one that had me heated. It was so good.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I was angry at the end of that season. Like, wait, y'all got to show me something else.
Did they start it back?
It's actually started Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday will be in all the shows coming back. But
I think it's the 26th. I think Black Lightning come back on the 26th too, or something like that. I might be wrong about that though.
Yeah, ain't nobody say Supergirl. What's up with Supergirl?
She all right.
She's You know what? Okay, I'm gonna take that back. That's the lead one that I'm really worrying about. I'm gonna say that, even though I would still look at it and see what's going on, but that's one of the least one that I'm worrying about. But everybody else, I gotta catch up on all of them, man. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not a story I don't think a lot of guys can relate to.
It's a show I watch with my daughter.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Even my wife's just like, oh man, she needs to toughen up a little bit. I'm out. My wife won't even watch it now. So yeah, I think Supergirl definitely is. I'd rather catch up with what people say about it than actually watch it at this point.
Right.
I still watch it before I watch Jessica Jones.
Fair enough.
You know what? You're right.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
Man, I ain't mad at you though, bro.
I want to ask Don $1 million question. I gotta ask him. I ask everybody to come on here, Don. So you got to get it too. Out of the Netflix Marvel shows, Jessica Jones, Defenders, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil, The Punisher. Which one is one of your least favorites out of Jessica Jones or Iron Fist season 1?
Jessica Jones or Iron Fist? It'd be Jessica Jones. I'm not a fan of that series. My wife likes it, but
got one on the outside.
Yeah, she's not. She's. I don't find her interesting. I'll just say that. It's one of those things. Like, she's like a B-level superhero.
Yeah, a B-level abused superhero that's borderline prostitute.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but the thing is, like, I just don't find her story interesting, and I don't find what she's going through. Like, it's rough stuff. It's like it's more drama than anything else, and you have to have some sort of plot. Drama does present that, but it's way too heavy on the drama for me to get into it.
I feel like you're watching a soap opera.
Yeah, it's like watching a soap opera with somebody that can do curls that I can't do. Like, that's pretty much what it feels like. And as somebody that has done private investigating in the past, I don't do it now or anything like that, but I have done it for a living in the past. Like, that line of work.
Done.
What's that?
What haven't you done?
I've done a lot of things. I'm a very dangerous man. But that being said, like, they're accurate. They're actually pretty accurate about it. But, like, if you ever do that job for any period of time, you realize, like, it makes you think the worst of people, if that makes any sense. And I don't like to think that way about people I meet and things like that, and on my everyday basis. And that show kind of sucks me back into that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to think the worst of people. I'm done. I don't want to watch this show. My wife watches it. It doesn't affect her, but like I don't know, it's not my thing.
You got a really legitimate reason.
Some people don't like the character, and some people do, and I get it. And it's a superhero movie without it just doesn't have much super in it in that show.
I see what he's saying.
Our hero.
Yeah, like where like with like Luke Cage. Like let's take Luke Cage for example. Luke Cage is somebody like throughout the whole entire thing he doesn't want to be a hero. Does that make sense to a certain degree? Like he wants to live his everyday life, but it's now a part of him. So that's kind of what's going on there, right? So like I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, basically Luke got sucked in.
Exactly. Even with like Iron Fist, a lot of people didn't like Danny Rand because he was kind of whiny, and I didn't like the fact he was whiny, but I understood that was the story arc, right? Like I was willing to accept the fact that he was living in isolation. He's coming back to the real world, so you're going to be disconnected. I've seen people like that all the time here in Utah. People go away for 2 years and they'll come back to regular life, and like they have a hard time adjusting. They're very similar to that. So like I think it was an accurate portrayal of the character and what the circumstances were. So like I can relate to that story, and there's superhero elements to that. But Jessica Jones, it doesn't feel like there's much superhero elements, and it's just like this drab, like depressing PI show. Occasionally that she has superpowers, and then occasionally it's involved with whatever her personal life or her past is. I'm just not interested in it.
Well, look at it like this. Do you think if a superhero such as her existed, do you think a superhero will be like that? Like I'm just saying, like
I don't know. I don't really know, because like if you look at her story arc, it's not much different than if you look at Nick Cage. He's just trying to live his life as well, right?
Right.
But part of the reason why I watch superhero movies is the way I look at it as superheroes. Superheroes in some way are always relatable. This is something Marvel does really, really well. Is they make their characters relatable. Like, hey, I know somebody like that, or I'm sucked in, or I can see myself in that situation making those choices. Right.
Right.
It doesn't matter who the hero is, and good superhero things also do it from the villain standpoint. You can see how that villain is relatable. If you look at, I think, Killmonger in the Black Panther films, he's relatable. We all know somebody like that. The
only reason why they the villain is because the camera angle is like if they would have showed it from his perspective, the show would have been based upon he was the star, he would have been the hero, T'Challa would have been the villain.
Exactly. So like to me, you have to capture that. But what makes them special is you have their abilities, what makes them unique, right? So you're now taking down this path of now a character you can relate or at least know, or you can see why those decisions were being made. And then you go down this path of, would you still be this person if you had these abilities and you're thrust in these abnormal circumstances because of your abilities? A lot of the Netflix shows don't do that in regards to that. So if the character is not relatable in the day-to-day life, or you don't enjoy what the day-to-day life is because it's more heavy on that front, I don't know if you're going to like the film in regards to that. And that goes with Iron Fist. That goes with Jessica Jones. I think that also goes with Nick Cage and in Daredevil, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but think about it like this here too, though. If you get with Jessica Jones, if you take away her superpowers and all the superpowers off of her show, you'll get the same exact show. Now you try to do that with Luke Cage. You take away his bulletproof skin, and what kind of show would you have with Luke Cage? It won't be the same show, right?
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Same thing with Iron Fist. If you take away his chi, what the show gonna be about? That's what makes Jessica Jones stand out to me, as in it didn't give me that superhero feel. But from your perspective, is a good perspective as well. So that's why I like about different people having like different perspectives of why. And Don, you like one of the only people that have have the sense to say Jessica Jones wasn't good. I know a lot of people they love it, and know why they love it. Say Savage Carter. What you call a show?
Soft porn.
There it is.
It does have a little bit of that element to it. I can understand that. It's not only like it's almost like goth in a lot of ways. Just the atmosphere. Whatever. I mean, the show's I think they're doing a new season. They're going to continue it on, and so I mean, it's found its audience. I think with any entertainment, it just got to find its audience as far as that goes, and it seems like they found their audience.
Yeah, get views in a battle. Matter of fact, like
Man,
Oxygen, whatever show that Oprah Winfrey channel. that can actually go over there. But speaking about
either one,
some old school, man. Let's get away from her, man, because this starting to get too Jessica Jonesy for me.
That about to make me depressed. All right, let's change something.
Yeah, let's talk about a woman that I'm excited for right now. Let's talk about some Captain Marvel. Man, did y'all see this trailer with Captain Marvel, man? Tell me y'all seen it, because I was impressed. I was impressed. I mean, I could tell they changed her backstory, but when I watched the trailer, to me, it looked like they showed it all. At first, I was looking at it because the way they explained the trailer, like they was explaining it from beginning to, to who she became. But if you look at the trailer, it's out of sync. It's actually out of sync because they have some parts that they show in the trailer. They make it look like she came into the movie with powers already, with amnesia. But then if you look at it, show when she was a child, how much she already done. This is a story they're gonna show about her childhood and how she get her powers and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited how they gonna swing the story, because this is an indication they changed her backstory. So we got everybody that's deep comic book fans. I know that y'all like for them to kind of stick to the strip, but we gotta let Marvel do their thing and create a new story, because they really changed her story. So
they had to.
Huh?
They had to.
Yeah, I mean the old story wouldn't have rocked anyway. To be honest, which I still don't. I know it. I just don't. It just don't resonate right. It just don't sound right.
Well, one major part of the old story they can't put in there.
Talking about with the Captain Marvel.
No, not Marvel.
You're referring to Rogue?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of leaving that part out of it, the whole deal.
I mean, you know what? I like the better for them not to have that Rogue Park in there. They can erase that.
I think what they should do at the end of it, like she going, like they don't have to really say, they just got dilute till she was in a coma, and then when Nick Fury sent out the signal, it kind of was like some type of signal, like how mind control thing that probably woke her up out of her sleep or something like that. He could have some type of crazy stuff like that, which woke her back up into the present day. That's what I'm hoping they do.
No, I doubt they have. I think they're going with a whole new story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, me and Savage was talking about it earlier. Like, let's see how they going to play this out, knowing that he already knew about her, but all the other Avengers didn't know about this or whatever. I was saying, like, man, they're gonna have some type of way with, though, she gotta leave or something like that. She has the other thing to do, and that's why she had to bounce. Because I know a lot of people say, like, well, wait a minute, what was he did all this stuff with the Avenger Initiative, not knowing like, well, wait a minute, all these motherfuckers that you just had seen in that movie, like, really? All of them could have went up against Thanos, but nah, they gonna flip that thing around with, though. She had to leave some type of way, or she had to protect Earth or some type of way, or some shit like that. They gonna come in with some alien crashed on Earth and blah blah blah. She came back and she got her shit together. I can sometimes certain movies you can look at, you can pretty much figure out exactly which way they're gonna go with the movie. Not saying that it's gonna be a bad movie, but I'm just curious to see how they're gonna go. To me, that's a movie I want to go see in the theater.
Prequels are sketchy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, you know how it's gonna end, right? Like, you know what's gonna dovetail into to a certain degree. So my thing is if prequel is done right, it adds depth and replay to the things that were originally filmed before, but take after the time frame of this, right? If you saw little hints of everything that happened with Captain Marvel, in the other films, in little things that like Nick Fury says and stuff like that. I think it has a lot of potential there, and I think it can be done really well. I've fallen really like the main actress on this. I'm not feeling her. I'm not feeling her at all. But it could be just the clips they took. Like, here's the thing. My wife explained it too. It's like when she goes to the grocery store and she sees like a soccer mom going around the grocery store, and they have this certain look on their face, and it's like you tell where they're thinking about something, but they don't really know, and should they ask the question or not. And she's just got that look on the face, is like, are melons in season? Or can I get a price check on something? Like, she doesn't look like a superhero with the expressions on her face. So I hope we get some other clips where it's a little more emotion, a little more connection with the character, because she seems like an empty shell.
She looked like
maybe that's part of the story. I don't know. I don't know much about Captain Marvel, but that's.
Hey, did you see did you see how Nick Fury was looking on that last trailer?
Yeah, he's looking great.
Yeah. And on the way he was acting,
Coulson
he was
too.
like,
they both look young.
Yeah, I know. All like they did an amazing job, and and then the way he was talking and acting, like that might be the first like superhero he actually ran across, and the way this might even be before Shield.
Well, I know. Didn't Captain Marvel like had some sort of weird explosion, and her DNA was fused with, I think, Creed is what it is.
Yeah, Creed.
To get her powers. See, I think they even showed that in the trailer, but how they chopped it up, it wasn't very clear that that's what they were showing. They kind of hit it like right in front of you, so you notice like she would get into whatever jet, but apparently that jet was in space, right? At one point, you saw in the trailer, she put her hand out. Well, they cut all out of sequence, but remember when you saw the ship appear outside in orbit? I think that correlates with that. And then I think also you see the explosion in space. I think that's that whole sequence that happened that what gave her powers.
Right. That, and then she was in a spaceship, and she
was at the spaceship.
To the blockbuster.
Bubble is that whatever the other ship is, something happened to that ship to cause the explosion. She came down to Earth, because they showed that other scene where she crash landed.
Yeah, that's the first scene they showed on the trailer. Yeah, into the blockbuster, where they showed the big old sign.
No, different crash landing. Different crash landing. I'm talking about the one where she was like on some sort of rock, and she was in her flight suit, and her hand hit the ground.
Yeah. Right.
I think all that stuff that I'm talking about is all tied together somehow, because it follows what I know about the story. And if you chop all that stuff together in a sequence, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you go back and look at it now, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm actually because I looked at the trailer like 4 times, and every time I looked at it, I seen something different. Like I didn't even see Phil Coulson the first time, and I saw that was Phil. They showed a little quick flash of him.
Yeah, they showed him like he in on it and everything. Like
they showed that dude also, the Hammer Time dude.
The Hammer Time dude.
The guy that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the dance off. What's his name?
The extra black dude with the mohawk.
No. The guy that was that had the hammer and had the stone from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Ronan the Destroyer.
Ronan's in it. Ronan
the Accuser.
Ronan's in it as well. I don't think there's like a silhouette, like quick little cut.
He a Kree though, huh? He a Kree, and he was fighting Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah, he showed him in it as well.
Yeah, the Kree was trying to, like, when she originally got the powers from her, they was the one that was trying to kill.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in seeing Captain Marvel over Venom. I'm by a long shot, especially at the end when she had powered up. She looked like Goku or something at the very end.
Cody.
When she was all blue and she had that mohawk.
No. She ain't had no mohawk at the end, huh?
Yeah, she
had the mask thing, like the head and the hair was coming out the top, and
okay, yeah, that's
she gonna look like the more modern,
modern look of it. But yeah, I want to go see that one because they look like the whole the whole fight scenes, I'm kind of skeptical about, but I still want to hear the story. So I'm with it. So, hey, y'all ready to go ahead and dive into the season 2 of this Iron Fist? Because I know that y'all been waiting and anticipating upon it. But before we get into this here, I got right quick want to say this can come in. Yeah, y'all see this right here? This is gonna be on the giveaway today. You know what I'm saying? I was saying by anybody that subscribe to my channel, and just all you had to do was just put it on Twitter and retweet it. And you know what I'm saying, say something about it. And I was gonna find somebody on there and tag me in, and I was gonna give them out when I hit my 300 subs. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to thank everybody out here that subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And for my 300 subscriber for the tweet, I would like to introduce my Cuphead Pop to Super Sonic Station, and I will hit you up on Twitter so you can give me the information so I can send it to you. Brand new, never been open. And I got one coming when I hit my 500 subs. So the only thing you gotta do is the same exact thing. Just the channel, like it, put it on Twitter, and tag me in it. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go ahead and get back to this thing. Enough for the commercial break and the promotion. But anyway though, the Iron Fist season 2 done. I would ask you about this here. What do you think about Iron Fist season 2 over season 1? Do you think they improved on the cinematography, the action fight scenes, the overall story arc,
I think character development.
And the character.
I think the big thing was the character development. A lot of people didn't like the original portrayal of the character. I think it served a purpose. And going into this, I think it's going to be a more likable variant of the character. But you can tell it's the same person. It's just like growth as far as all that stuff goes. And he's kind of questioning everything he knew about the Iron Fist throughout the whole thing. So, which is good. I think the cinematography was just as good, if not better. But the kind of like some of the fights from Danny Rand in the previous season a little bit better. To be frank with you, just because it had a unique look to it that was a little bit more loose, and it wasn't like typical cut and paste like martial arts. It was something a little bit different, and what I kind of liked about it. So
yeah, mine was the only thing about season 1 with the fight scenes was with Colleen Wayne was fighting inside the cage. When she was inside the cage fighting, those fight scenes was magnificent. I mean, that sold the whole series to me. I just want to see her get back into the cage. But
yeah, the cinematography with her was a lot of quick cuts. And just give a little more impact into the fight scenes.
Yeah, but man, I don't know. I think you're on an island by yourself with that one, because I think the fight scenes on season 2 was just.
I know a lot of people liked them better, a lot better, but that's fine. I mean, I didn't not enjoy them. It's fine that people enjoy something I don't. So
yeah, but it just ain't seem like Iron Fist the type of fight scene. It seemed more like they gave it too much of a. I don't know the right word for it, but it'd be like it was like almost like an overkill of goodness.
It wasn't bubblegum, was it?
No, it's way less bubblegum.
It was just more like an overkill of goodness. Like you wanted to just form to tone it down a little bit so it could be more gritty. But besides for that, I liked it. I mean, it almost kind of like it just had the budget was a tad bit too big on it. They could have just brought it down a little bit. But I like the way they fought, the how they fight. You could actually see that these weren't no stunt doubles that did most of these scenes. These was the actual people on most of the scenes, and they actually showed close-ups of their face and pull the camera back in one scene to let you know that this is the person that's swinging and ducking and moving. So it wasn't like.
And then some of the shots, like they actually truly make contact. Like you can tell. In regards to all that, what is it? Who's the main villain? What is his name? I forgot his name.
Davos.
Davos. Man, Davos did a really good job in this one as far as that goes. I think it was it was a villain you'd like to hate. Does that make sense? Throughout the whole thing, you wanted to see him get his like just deserves throughout the whole entire thing. So that kind of kept you lured and kind of drawn into it. And the fight scene between him and Danny before he got the Iron Fist, the whatever that room was.
Oh, with his daddy and his mama, and they had to fight to the death or submit.
Yeah, death or submit sort of thing, and they were like in that room that was like in Conwall Law or whatever the place is called. And yeah, I thought that fight scene was great. That was really gritty.
Yeah. That's the one with Danny ran when he was winning the fight, and that's when Danny you could tell he was kind of holding back. When he was holding back, Danny Rand used the environment to help him out. As in, he seen that he had a little glare, and he just for that one split second, because Davos have one thing that he always say: never hesitate. And that one split second of his hesitation cost him the Iron Fist. And he never did tap out. His daddy just said, called the fight. So Davos was very, very jealous of Danny Rand.
Yeah, it gave him the motivation. Like, why was he motivated in the way that he was motivated, right? And he couldn't let it go, as far as that goes.
Right, and then his mama was actually I didn't like his mama. She was, to me, she was the one. Like, what I'm saying, with him, I kind of felt a little bit understanding, but with his mama, I had no understandings behind her. She was just like the worst human being in the world. The way I seen, the way they portrayed her to me.
But it gave you a reason why Davos turned out the way he did, right? Like, it served that purpose where you're like, okay, I can see why Davos is the way he is, right? Like, you don't have like a Anakin Skywalker moment where like, what the hell just happened? You know what I mean? Where he flips. You don't have that moment, right? He's bred that way. It didn't happen at a flip of a switch. It was gradual and it's more deeply rooted because of his family. So
right, that's pretty much all he know.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, and he preached that over and over, and that's another reason why he probably beat himself up so bad about it, because Danny Rand is the only person he ever hesitated with. Because I just seen they show fight scenes on there where he laid around there. The dude had a gun pointed to him. He took the gun out of his hand, stabbed him with a knife, turned around, threw the knife, and hit the knife in the other dude's chest. And they had one more dude that was standing to the left of him, looked to the right just to see the knife going inside his chest. He had a gun in his hand, but there's one split second for him looking down and see that knife going into his partner's chest. Davos was right there to grab the knife out the dude's chest and jug it through his neck. I was like, yeah. And he kept pushing, no hesitation. I was like, now that's how you portray a role like that. But with Davos, don't know. I mean, but one thing I did like that's in the comics, what Davos didn't know, with his whole mentality, he got his ass handed to him on the next level type thing. So I don't know if you even heard about I'm trying to think it I don't know why.
The Prince of Orphans.
The Orphan, yeah, the Orphan. Man, say Don. When it's come to Iron Fist, you ever heard of is the person named Prince of Orphans? You ever heard of him?
No, now you're into the lore that I just don't know. In regards to that, like I don't know who that is or what that is.
All right, it's seven heavenly cities, and each one got their own version of Iron Fist. So the actual Iron Fist is not the strongest one. The Prince of Orphans is. He been the Prince of Orphans for like 200 years.
Okay.
Davos decided he wanted to challenge this dude. No, he challenged Davos because Davos was being extra brutal with the last surviving sister of the Crane.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got it's like a challenge on a fight. So on a
it's like the Kumite.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Except Davos killed her. So he was like, he challenged Davos next. Before Davos could swing a one punch, he got punched at least 6 times.
Interesting.
Like he totally crushed him and told him he was a little boy playing with grown people.
So explain to this. So whatever. Danny Rand gets the heart of the dragon. So he gets the Iron Fist.
Right.
And then obviously throughout the whole season, like he lost it.
Right.
But how does he get it back at the end of the season?
Okay.
See, this is where I'm confused. So does it come back? Is it part of
this is no.
You're right.
You're right. The question you asked is like, when I saw that, I was like, wait, this don't make sense. Because what he would learn is a technique called gun fu. The man who he's looking for is the only one that can use that.
Okay.
At the end of the season, the man he's looking for is the only person that can use it. The only Iron Fist that was ever used gun fu. So if he's still looking for this man, how he learned it, and then the only way he get his chi back, he have to kill his dude.
So he can only get his chi if he takes it from somebody.
Yeah, he got to get the reason.
It's not like something that heals.
It is. It is a lot of different stuff. It's like it's a lot of different techniques. Each Iron Fist come up with their own techniques.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be logged in a book. The problem is the previous Iron Fist basically quit and took all the information with him.
Okay.
And that's the man that Danny's looking for.
Okay, and then so what it made it sound like is those were his guns.
Right.
That guy's guns. But you can't just have the guns. You have to learn how to use them.
Right.
Right? You can't.
That's why I was like,
it's like if you and I pulled the trigger, it
was cool to see gun fu, but I was like, I don't understand how he able to use it if he don't have his chi.
Interesting.
Right.
I mean, it was cool to see. It was just now I'm confused. I don't.
And that's the reason why I'm excited for season 3. So it makes me think it's like what they showed there. Part of season 3 is going to overlap that scene because you have to learn how he got that. Right.
All right, and the fact that season 3 gonna bring out more about Colleen Wing for the fact of.
Which
the pirate queen.
She's a spin-off of the original idea, right?
Actually, the pirate queen that's her ancestor was the first Iron Fist.
Okay.
And there was a female, but the thing about it is, in Kung Lao, only males could be Iron Fist.
Yeah, the leader of Kung Lun. He don't want no females to be trained because he know the secret about the first Iron Fist.
Gotcha.
And the fact that Colleen Wing family had to leave Kung Lao.
And that's why if you notice, well, in the series, they kind of like hint to Danny Rand that he knows nothing about the history of the Iron Fist. He don't know what he really fighting for and why he fighting if he really on the right side. Because they got a lot of.
And then he doesn't know. So there's a danger of giving her the Iron Fist.
Technically, now it is because two people are sharing the power of the Iron Fist. Him and the man he looking for. That's why he can only channel the Iron Fist in one hand because the other man never relinquished the power.
Gotcha. All right. That was my other thing. Is every time I saw a comic book of the Iron Fist or artwork, right?
He was using both his hands.
Both fists were glow.
Right, but that did all this would happen after he killed the man.
Okay. And that also made it a little bit more confusing because when you use
that's when he would become the actual
bullets. I don't know what the hell they are, right? But let's use chi bullets.
Chi bullets.
Matter of fact,
I like that.
It's like lightning. What they call them? Lightning bullets from God or something like that.
Yeah, chi bullets. It's what it is, right? Like, and then and that's what also threw me off because both hands were glowing, right? Because it went from the hand into the gun, into the bullet, right?
Right.
Right.
So it kind of shows, it animates it in a way that, yeah, this is the reason why I'm curious, because like there's just so much to it that I'm like, I don't get. And obviously they're taking some liberties there, right? Because, what's her name? She wasn't really in the comic, but her ancestor was, right? So it's a continuation of
Colleen
that
McRae?
story. Yeah, with her. And then why does Danny Rand have his chi, or does he have his chi? What the hell's going on there? And there's going to be some explanation. So I don't know. It's exciting to kind of see that. And, I think I want to see the story arc of Danny even more, because obviously he's grew a lot just from season 1 to season 2. So I want to see where he's going to grow into season 3.
Yeah, they probably got a long way to go on season 3. Because
all I know is his ex girlfriend's gonna be in Woman's Corn, I think.
you talking about Colleen?
Yeah, I don't think Colleen's gonna let it go. I think they're gonna have some unsolved business between those two.
Yeah,
I'm really seeing the spinoff of the Daughters of the Dragon come from this.
Gotcha.
Hey, know what I'm saying too? They might kind of like do a couple episodes where they got to put Luke Cage back in his place. Because if you've seen the end of season 2 of Luke Cage,
I haven't.
He get a little iffy. That's all I'm gonna say. He gets a little iffy.
So he's getting a little prideful. Because
he's smelling himself real good, dog. He really,
really?
like, yeah. You.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if that's a bad thing, but is that a bad thing though? I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I think it's like one of his demeanors of him keeping his cool. You know what I mean?
But one thing I can say about Luke Cage, even in the comic book, he was always cocky.
Was he?
Yeah.
See, and I didn't know that. See, me as somebody being an outsider to the comic book world, I didn't know that. So that's him coming to his full kind of character, whatever his character flaws kind of coming out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I really, but I still think Iron Fist is the one that's closer to the comics than the rest of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he is pretty close.
Like very close. Like they started talking about stuff that I never, like the Pirate Queen. That's something I never would have thought they would even mention. I would have believed they would have brought her father up before her ancestor.
You talking about talking about her great grandmama being the Pirate Queen and first Iron Fist. Well, maybe not the very first Iron Fist, but from what
she was the very first Iron Fist.
Okay, this is the very first.
But I said that.
That's what I thought.
I said that earlier when we was talking about that earlier, Seth. It's like, yo, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know his father was even chosen. I didn't know none of that. I'm like, wait a minute, what did that happen?
Danny Rand's father was supposed to be the Iron Fist before him.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember. If I did read it, I wasn't paying attention or something. Like, 'cause I didn't even realize that until he told me that. I'm like, what?
Because he was taking him to Kunlun.
Yeah, that plane trip they was taking to China, that wasn't to China where they were supposed to be going.
Oh, so that
right.
That brings a lot more to the story now. I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, and it said that Davo's mama was the one that.
And a matter of fact, the man that he looking for is the reason why his family ended up rich.
Interesting.
Because he gave his dad his fortune. He the one that trained his dad.
Yeah, so they ain't nobody knew about that, and Davo's mama was supposed to be the one that brought down the plane. The reason why it crashed before they could make it to Kong Long, because of the whole fact of who was going to be the next Iron Fist.
So let me ask you this: so, do you think they're going to split the show in two? What I mean by that is following Danny separately from
Colleen.
From Colleen.
I mean, Colleen and Misty Knight actually had a team called the Daughters of the Dragon, so I'm kind of thinking that's gonna happen.
I think I wouldn't mind that, to be honest with you.
I would like to
That'd
see
be the
that.
next
Yeah,
show.
I'd rather have that than have the story flashing back between the two, right? Let them split and then
I
let 'em
mean,
come
they
back
they
together.
hinted at it a lot during the Iron Fist season.
Every time they got together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they matched them up so many times, just to give you that dynamic, so the people could get a feel of them two together, so you
Right.
kind of see what you're gonna get.
I always looked at it as and they testing the water. Let's see if we can pull this off. Let's see how people feel about us keep putting them two together. See what would people think? Because it's always people who on a method board saying whether if they want to see this shit, if they want to see it happen or not. So I mean, that's how I was taking it. Like,
Right.
man, what if they just put these two together like they supposed to? Just testing people out to see what people say.
I mean, it actually makes sense though, because if they once they do that, Danny Rand he gone off with his brother. They trying to go find the last Iron
Damn.
Fist. While they trying to do that, Colleen Wayne and her story can continue with Misty Knight. So they ain't gotta like you were saying, Don. That way they ain't gotta split the story and they ain't gotta
I mean, and the thing is, like,
bring them out of China so fast.
the fact that they got the dude working with Davos is like not what happened in the comic book. So that's kind of like I'm more or less what I want to see what's going on with that. Because in the comic, dude always worked with Danny.
Interesting.
I didn't know that either. Well, you always learn something. So
Mm-hmm.
so what you think about Misty Knight on there?
Misty Knight.
Yeah. The investigator that came in, like she had a little
Oh, the one with the robot arm.
yeah.
I like her. She's cool.
Yeah, they should have I just didn't like how they were trying to handle her when she first came. I know it was bad timing, but it was actually perfect timing when she first appeared. And Danny and Colleen was trying to figure out how they was gonna was trying to take down Davos, and that's when Misty popped up on them, and they was like, "Man, not right now. We got this going on," and she kind of like sat them down because they couldn't have did half the stuff they did without her, because she was they backbone for through the whole show.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we still had their sister and brother. They had some awesome dynamics. Because on the first season, the brother was more the one that was trying to set up, trying to get rid of Danny. And on the second season, now it's the vice versa. It's the sister. She trying to get payback for Danny for killing her daddy, not once, but twice. So she really hated him. So her whole thing was working with Davos to try to take the one thing that Danny, cherished the most, and that was his chi and his Iron Fist power. So how she went behind his back and just went betrayed him, and after all he said and done, she still went against that man, even though he was willing to do whatever she wanted done. And she's talking about the only reason why she did it to him because she couldn't do it to her real brother. So it was kind of like one of those type of situations where she was like almost a mini villain to Danny, but at the same time she was family. So it was one of those type of tricky, family affair type situations. So what y'all thought about like her story arc and the whole, the whole overall of with Danny Rand?
I'm waiting for Joy to die.
No, man, don't say that about Joy, man. You don't like Joy?
No.
Damn. What about you, Flip?
I didn't see the whole joint. So
Yeah, well, so what about you then, Don?
She seems like she's a decent supportive character. That's all I kind of looked at her as, to be honest with you.
Oh, so I don't know. I might have been one of the few that probably liked her role and stuff like that because she was like a small character, but she made she was like that little pebble you could throw into the river, and that one little drop make all these ripples, and the ripples get bigger and bigger and bigger. like when Davos had pushed off the edge, I said, "Oh shit, she about to die." And then when the old boy said if he was a bad man, he would allow it because he thought for sure she was dead. But you know, say he didn't kill her. That let you know that you know, saying she was here to stay, and the stuff that she did was against both sides. So she was like almost a Catwoman type person where she played both sides of the field because she was actually the one that hired Walker, and she hired Walker to do a job for her. And that part had came back, and then how Walker was able to flip on him and change, and just her whole character dynamic. So I know that y'all wasn't big fans of Joy, but Joy brought Mary Walker to the table, and I was a huge. I didn't know nothing about Mary Walker until the girl portrayed the role of her, and after I seen the way she portrayed the role of her, I had to go back and research Mary Walker. And then when I was looking up on online, like one of the most recently looked up thing right after Iron Fist came out was Mary Walker.
Who is Mary Walker?
So she really did play the role, because once a person play a role like that, that make you very interested into a character. That, you know what I'm saying, they pretty bring a dynamic to it. Like nobody really cared for Killmonger until wasn't that Harry P. Jordan? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who played
Jay Jordan? Yeah.
Michael G.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah,
Michael B. Damn, I said Jay. But go ahead.
Yeah, till he played Killmonger, nobody really cared about her. So I mean, that same way I'm feeling about Mary Walker, with the different personalities in the actor being able to portray somebody that's passive, then being able to play somebody that's has a military mind, and then have a third personality which nobody knew about it through the whole series. She didn't even know herself that she had a third personality. But we got more tricks of the trade about Mary Walker. So say Savage, what you thought about the portrayal of Mary Walker on there?
You come to me last about Mary Walker.
You last?
Because if I start talking about Mary Walker, I'm gonna give away too much now.
He going in. He going in. I ain't know I didn't know. You know what? I mean, I know who the character is, but I never knew that the bird was like some type of schizophrenic, had a split personality. I didn't know I just thought that maybe she was just doing shit like an alter ego and stuff like that, man. I didn't know she was like cuckoo. I didn't know she was like that. I mean, I understand why she's like that, you know, her upbringing and stuff like that, but I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that reading that. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And when I see it in the chat, I'm like, what? She's crazy. Like, hold up. Then we was talked about it a couple of days ago. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't even know that. And then I realized who y'all talking about. I didn't know that this broad was crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I mean, like each person that she date, each one of her personality, each different personality that she have, and other previous people that she know or whatever, that personality don't know nothing of them. I didn't even, you know what? I don't know. I never put that shit together like that. I never did. I didn't even think about it. Like
how they did it. Well, is actually multiple personalities that stand on their own.
Right.
That's the part that really like kind of stands out to me. Is like it give it that uniqueness. Say Don, I know that you're a game developer, and I know that creativity is like the bread and butter of game development. So what you had to think about Bloody Mary?
I mean, she did a good job, but I don't know. I wasn't very attached or very interested in what she was doing, but I think it's what's interesting, and this is just more of what these comic book television shows and movies are doing is, you know, you mentioned Killmonger and stuff like that. If you look at like the original comic book characters, they're like, oh, that looks kind of goofy. No one's interested, right? And they kind of have these opportunities to reboot these characters that can be a lot more interesting and make them more tangible for a new generation. And I think that's what they do as far as that goes. But no, I wasn't really attached to her. I thought she was going to be done with at the end of the series, but apparently she's sticking around. So,
oh man, no, don't do that to me, dumb man. Okay, so tell me, you didn't get hype when you seen the scene when she was talking to Joy and talking to the split personality of her, and she was like, man, I could get the job done, and they went back and forth the whole dynamic and how she had to, like, you know what I'm saying, really sell herself to let her know that, look, I really could do this here. And she say she studied Iron Fist. She didn't just say Danny Rand. She said, I studied Iron Fist. I know how to fight him. She coming to a fight scene with him. You know, at first, he was fighting with her, like, you know, I mean, he didn't want to fight with her, so she's just swinging. Boom, 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 boom. Then he was like, oh, I got to pull you off of me because you are married, the peaceful person that I know. What is going on? Until he was like, oh, she really hit me, so he had to swing back. And then when he thinking he gonna get her off of her, she get to put in a combination because she was the personality of the military minded. Well, she actually know how to fight, and she kicking him out the train, throwing him to the side, punching him.
No, it fell flat for me, man. Like I had a hard time believing that one. You know, I would have an easier time having Colleen, you know, and once he did that, she always had the up. But the part that I thought she did really well was when she woke up in that, whatever, she was living in that hole, and all those troops were killed, just slaughtered.
Yeah.
And she's like dazed and confused. I thought that part was kind of cool, but that's really about the only thing that really kind of grabbed me. She just kind of seemed like more of a supportive character. I was more interested in what's going on with Colleen or Iron Fist, and she just seemed like she was just kind of overshadowed by their story arc more than anything else. So I wasn't interested.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, Don, but it was, to me, it's all about the details.
She didn't, and it's not like she didn't act bad or anything like that. Like, that's not a reflection on how she acted. She acted really good. So I'll give her credit there. It's just I don't know. I just felt kind of flat to me.
You know that move with Iron Fist. He take his fist and when he light it up and he'll punch the ground. He get down on one knee and punch the ground.
Yeah.
All right. She was so technical with him that she seen when he raised his fist up into that 90-degree angle, she know that that's what he about to do. So she was able to move behind something that could absorb the pressure from the punch that he do on the ground, then be able to get to him quick enough where he wasn't able to react. She knew the exact weapon to pull out to tie his hand up. Once she get his hand, she knew that she could whoop his ass, and she beat him tremendously. Man, when I seen that, I was like, okay, she's something serious. I get what you're saying, but you saying she wasn't no threat. She wasn't the overall arc.
I didn't say she wasn't a threat. I just not interested in her.
You on your own with Chuck?
It's not like, I mean, she played the role well. Like, it's not even a reflection on her like acting skills or him. She portraying the role what she was supposed to do. She nailed that. I just didn't find her interesting or really part of the plot all that much. I just kind of felt like she was just like a necessary piece to kind of make it all fit together. And, you know, she came off as more of a prop than any of the other characters to me. And then I didn't realize she was something more significant or more relevant to the grander scheme of things until the series was over. Like, it didn't even register to me until then.
Okay, well, yeah, I understand that. I mean, but at the same time, she's not really no Iron Fist villain. She's more of a Daredevil villain.
Yeah, she's definitely. I mean, she's a skilled combatant. You know, as far as that goes.
Right. But yeah, but in the comics, she just was more of a Daredevil villain than Iron Fist anyway. But I still, you know what I'm saying, I get what you're saying. You didn't really care for her. Probably you might not know, you know, like the part that you said was cool. That's actually her third personality that they didn't even show on the show.
No, they didn't. Not at all.
She didn't much know that she had a third personality.
They did show that personality.
The part when she was in the grave with the blood all over.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they I call it because they showed it, but they ain't. I mean, like showed it like actually her and
you just would have had to know what you was looking at.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, that part. That's how I knew that. Yeah, that her third personality. But I was talking about like they ain't really have her front line.
That's the thing. She got 4 personalities.
She's got 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they hinted at 3. So there's a 4th one we didn't see.
Yep.
Gotcha. What's the fourth one like?
The fourth one is. I really don't think they wanted to put the fourth one on TV because that one would be. She was
That's the
like,
one she got
Ain't that the one
telekinesis,
where
right?
she got
yeah, that's the telekinetic one.
oh, the fourth one?
But
I thought okay.
So she's
But-
got powers at a certain point. That's what you're saying.
no. Actually, Mary Walker is a mutant.
She got power.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, why didn't they do that? I would have been way more interested.
And
Mary Walker is a mutant, and she actually she done played 5 different people in the Marvel universe. The reason why Flip probably didn't ever pay attention to who she was because she always had a different name: Bloody Mary, Typhoid Mary, Mary
Yep.
Walker,
I didn't even
Walker.
realize that.
and that
They're
was
all the same
person.
character?
Yep.
Yeah, they all the same person.
Well,
That's why I
Kate-
didn't notice that. I'm like, hold on, what?
Yeah, you might get a comic book with just Mary.
Yep.
Bloody Mary. You might get one with stuff like that.
Typhoid Mary, and all of them had different abilities.
Typhoid. Yeah, Typhoid. So she was one of those characters.
Interesting.
Mary was the only one that was like more of a pacifist. All of the rest of them was bent on killing somebody. Bloody Mary hate men. Typhoid Mary hate. No, isn't that? She just like killing. She is more like a serial killer.
And and Walker is the military one.
You know what's funny that you say that? I asked my homie about that earlier today. Did he know that? Because like a lot of comic books I have, and he got it at his house. Like he got one room nothing but comic book. You would think it's a store. He said, "Yeah, I knew." I say, "Well, damn dog, why you ain't tell me? I thought you knew." No, I ain't know that. He was like, "You mean to tell me you really didn't notice that?" I said, "No, I didn't know that. I thought they was different characters and stuff." He started laughing at me. It was like, "Oh man, you better come back over here and start reading them comic books again." Start reading her comic books again because he said it's out there that she has to be multiple personality and stuff. I said, but I never noticed that. I never knew that was the same person.
And she is also Mutant Zero from the Weapon X program.
Interesting. But they can't talk about the fact that she's a mutant.
What?
Because Fox is not publishing it.
Right.
Interesting. So if it wasn't like that Fox issue, they would be able to address that a lot more.
Most likely. That's what I'm betting on.
Yes,
but I know for a fact that Mary Walker is a mutant.
Because I know that's part of the contract. So when they sold the rights to X-Men and all that sort of stuff, one of the things was mutant was signed off. So anything they talk about in the Marvel universe that's not part of the X-Men, they can't bring up the word mutant. They can say they have powers.
Right.
They can say a lot of things, but they can't say they're a mutant as far as that goes. Huh.
But I'm trying to see how this is going to turn out now since the contracts changed.
Yeah, even though I mean, if they acquire Fox Movie Studio, all that's in. All that's in.
Here's the thing. So I don't mind Disney doing the X-Men stuff. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the whole MCU, it really forced them to take characters that are less popular, right? Because like when they were talking about the MCU, everyone laughed at it. Like, who in the hell is going to watch Captain America and Iron? Like everyone kind of laughed at it that weren't into comics, right? And they brought that stuff into the mainstream. And so they're always diving into all the stuff that's basically not part of the X-Men franchise, and they're popular. It's making it popular again. Having X-Men is just an easy way out now, right? And I think sometimes if you have like X-Men characters, that's just going to overshadow some of the other characters they're bringing back to life, or kind of rebooting them. So I don't know. I'm not as excited about the whole X-Men merger, Fox and Disney thing because of that. It's not because Disney won't do a good job is because they've done such a good job of everything else. I want them to continue to go down that rabbit hole of characters that people just don't know about.
I mean, but the only thing about that is Disney got some of the best writers in the world, so I think they're gonna be able to spread it out perfectly because they showing they flexing their muscles, and I think it actually started with Civil War when it was Captain America movie, but you could almost say it was an Iron Man movie as well, and how they was able to balance the two the same way when they did with Black Panther. The movie wasn't really about Black Panther. The name of the movie should have actually been Wakanda because the movie was really about Wakanda. So everybody had their own roles and they was able to open up and make the main character be the main character, but still show side characters. And I'm thinking if they could do that on that level, maybe on a grander scale, when they actually introduced the X-Men and all the mutants back to the MCU, that they could actually implement it to the same format as they could still do like Ant-Man, but then come out with like the X-Men movies or the or the Phoenix movie or whatever. Matter of fact, what happened to that movie? That movie gone? I mean, it's supposed to come out. The Phoenix. I just thought about that out the blue. What happened to that movie? Because
nothing ain't come out yet. I'm not sure. So you thinking that they should establish some of these low level characters? Because I'm a low level character before they bring mutants and stuff back into the MCU.
I just want to keep them separate. Don't pull them into the MCU. Just do X-Men as X-Men.
Yeah,
well,
and then they can pull from the things that's shared, but like don't.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. What you're saying makes sense.
Yeah,
but a lot of comic book buffs know the fact that a couple of the X-Men should have been in a couple of these situations that already happened in these movies.
Yeah, right.
That is
Wolverine
true.
Wolverine should have been in the first Captain America movie.
Yep. Wolverine should have been in the Avenger movie with
he should have been in all the Avengers movies.
What's his name? Yeah, with Ultron. Because even though they may not go with the lore with with him going back in time, killing Ant-Man for making Ultron, then going back in time again. Like some things I know they can't do. Then going right back in time to stop himself from killing him because it was a bigger threat than that. He still should have been in there. He's still I know a lot of stuff they're not going to be able to do, like the comic book. But yeah, like you're saying, he should have been in like damn near fucking 90% of the movies that came out.
Like even in Infinity War, because after the Infinity War, Wolverine left with one of the gems.
So you're saying the comic book buffs, which by all means, I mean, we wouldn't have these movies if it weren't for those guys, right?
Right. Same thing with Fantastic Four.
I mean,
all that shit is linked up. All of it is linked up.
Fantastic Four. Like Richard Reed should have been in this situation.
So you think the movies would have been better if they're able to kind of pull from those character arcs?
If they do the writing right, if the writing is good as it is,
if the writing good as it is, and
yeah.
If everything stayed the way it is and they could have used the characters that was actually in the situations, I think it would have been better. But I'm not saying that the movie bad. Don't get me wrong. Right. I love them. You know what I'm saying? It's just I really think it was missing. Like knowing the comics, I knew what was missing.
Mm-hmm.
See now, if I didn't know anything about the comics, I wouldn't have nothing to say.
Okay, so let me give you and I'm just more curious, right? More than anything else, because I'm not really invested one way or the other. I'm just kind of looking from the outside in. So obviously we got Spider-Man with the last Avengers movie, right?
Right.
So it's more like that. Like Spider-Man was part of the Avengers, so having Spider-Man just completed that movie. If they had to make the movie about Spider-Man, it just wouldn't be the same.
It'll still been, it wouldn't have been the same. It'd have been missing that little cherry on top. Okay. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It would have fleshed the story out better. The story would have been fleshed out more. It would have it makes sense, but it would have made better. It would have made a whole lot more sense or whatever. Like if you would have had like some of them other characters in there, you'd be like, oh, all right, I get it now. Because I know some people who watch the movie, they get it, but they really don't like get it. Like instead of, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Instead of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner making Ultron, Ant-Man was the dude that did that.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
some things are going to change, and
Yeah,
that's inevitable.
yeah. So if they would have had that in there, they like okay, like the one thing that gets on Savage. How the hell Ant-Man know his? How the hell he understand the suit that he got on in the beginning? Now the next thing you know, he don't understand it. Now, if that was the original if that was the original Ant-Man, you won't be going through that. You won't be saying, "Well, why did they do it like that?" They would have just flushed it right all off. They would have flushed it all on out, and it would have made a whole lot more sense. Like, cause some of it, like he said, some of the stuff you look at, you be like, like we not hating on the movie, people. We're not hating on it. It's still okay, but it's always room for improvement. That's
Well,
all I'm
you
saying.
guys are the hardest fans to please, right? Because you're so invested in the comic books. You like the stories of the backstory of all these characters. So it totally makes sense. So for me, I'm not invested in the same way, right? Like,
Right.
My experience with comics is almost from the outside looking in. Me talking to guys like yourself and stuff like that, and I have a history with comics from our work perspective, right? Mad Joe, I'm a huge fan of his. Todd McFarlane, even studied a lot of Jim Lee's work and stuff like that over the years, and the greats, if you kind of know what I mean, right?
Right.
So that's been my exposure, but I've always been the outside looking in. I love the fact that these movies are being made, but I also know these are not 100% true to the original source material, but it's more of the spirit of the original characters is kind of what they're capturing.
Just look at it like this, Don. Look at it like this. You're a video game, design and all that. Look at it like this. How they got video games now? They making games more for the casual, and that's how they doing movies. They make a movie more for the casual than a hardcore fan.
Interesting.
That's what they're
Well,
doing.
I mean, but how do you tell a movie? And I mean, some of these characters have ridiculous backstories. I mean, they go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
some of the stories, I
I
understand.
mean, they're
Like,
doing what they can, right?
yeah, right. And
Yeah,
some of them they just can't do. No, there's no way. Like, that ain't gonna work.
I can't say that, man. You got to think about Guardians of the Galaxy. Man, think about it. On paper, if you'd have read that, you'd have been like, what the hell? A green woman,
Right.
a half earth, a half human,
Yeah, but see,
a tree.
is that's something else. Like without the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, how you gonna put Thanos
Right.
like
Yeah.
in the overall long term game plan? They would have had to do it, even if the movie sucked.
Right.
Yeah, but luckily the first one blew up. But I mean, I'm just saying, if you look at it on paper, a person will say, "Man, this is the most far-fetched stuff I ever heard in my life." Like, how you gonna make a movie out of this? And they
Then
pulled it off.
then trying to tone it down and make it as I always say, try to make movie more realistic, more believable,
More tangible.
casual. Right there, you go. Right.
Because like obviously, someone flying around in space without a space helmet is not accurate, right?
Right.
We all know that, but we accept the fact that there's some sort of technology. This is a fantasy world, but the character is relatable.
Right. Like a lot of character can't be OP. Like wait a minute.
They have flaws.
All
All
these
these
characters
characters have
can't be OP. Yeah. Like,
character flaws. So
right.
yeah, I mean they do a good job. It's just curious hearing from people that are hardcore comic book fans. They're like, oh hell no, they didn't do that.
Like Don, trust me, like me, of all people, I'm the most critical person when it comes down to comic book. Like hell to the no, no. It's like now as time went on or whatever, like man, I had to adjust myself to like, dude, they can't do that.
I mean, that's
They
why they
can't
call
do
it the
that in that
MCU, right? It's the Marvel
right,
Cinematic Universe. It's not.
right. They couldn't do that. That ain't gonna look right.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives you a little bit of an out. But I mean, for the most part, they try to stay true to the characters as much as possible, right? I mean, the spirit of what those characters are.
Right.
Or am I wrong?
I'll give it that.
You're right. But hey, no, something I noticed we didn't do on the show today.
What's that?
We ain't talk about nothing about DC. So I want to ask y'all, man,
What's
what
DC?
y'all think about this Batman and Superman? Both Ben Affleck and what's the name that plays Superman?
Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill, whatever. Yeah.
The whole kabouter, I had to make that word up about they supposed to be quitting and they ain't nothing confirmed, but then they saying it's confirmed but they don't have no Superman movie. and it's a whole shit show. It's like they throwing shit everywhere.
Well, one of them is confirmed. One of them is confirmed, definitely.
Who's confirmed?
Ben Affleck having alcohol problem and stuff like that. Yeah, he's out. That's been confirmed. Yeah, he's out.
So why is he out though?
Because the alcohol. Well, according to what they were saying is because his addiction with alcohol.
Oh, is he getting too tipsy, and so he's not a liable actor?
I'm just saying. That's what they are.
That's what the rumor is. No, I got you. You're not spreading.
So,
just relaying.
And Henry, like what we said before, we talked before, Chuck. Henry, he want to do it. It just Warner Brother, like, what are you doing? You've been making movies with DC characters way before Marvel. Like, what's going on? And I said before, it's not the old on Warner Brothers.
Well, I would imagine the Henry Cavill, and this happens. So, like, usually what they'll do is they'll sign them actors for a contract for these movies over a couple different iterations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at a certain point, they are like, "Hey, you make this, you make that, right?" Mm-hmm. And there's a possibility of re-signing. There's always a possibility of re-signing. When you re-sign, you usually negotiate your contract. Does that make sense?
Sir. Yes, sir.
So it's like the NFL.
Yeah, just like the NFL.
Right.
I mean, this happens. This happens with, like, you see a lot more with television shows. I know that's how that sort of stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Henry Cavill, he's starting to blow up, right? He's starting to be a known actor. He's a wanted name in Hollywood. So it's going to cost DC more to retain him, right? Because he can go make more money somewhere else,
right?
So we got other movies down the line.
It's not like he's being a jerk. It's just kind of how it goes. Yeah. Like, if you can be paid this much for this amount of work versus that much, and both are healthy for your career, you're going to take the thing that you're interested in that's going to probably make you more money, right? So, but he doesn't mean he's opposed to doing the others. It's up for contracts. So I think that's what's going on there.
Yeah. Like he said, he wanted to do it, but it's also a time thing. Like, Jesus Christ, like oh my God, how long do you think it's going to take for me to do these other movies? Like, I don't know what's coming down the next 4 to 5 years.
How is Michael
movie that's coming out?
The rumor is Michael B, right, is going to do.
Nah, that's the fan.
That's not even true.
That's not even true.
Okay, so that was all fan generated.
The fan did that. Them fans went with Michael B because it's like we said in the universe of DC, or whatever. There's actually been other supermen.
That was about to ask you. So has there been other?
I think
Superman.
It's 2 or 3 of them.
It has been 2 or 3 of them. So that's the thing, is, like, some people blow up on that sort of stuff, but if there's context, like history there, it makes sense, and it'd be a cool thing for them to try out. But when you just totally change the look of the character, that's when everyone goes, "What the hell?" I mean, people have enough time when you go from one actor to another actor, it looks like the character. But if there's a history there, I mean, why not explore that? It'd be fun.
But people are very fond of Henry Cavill. People like him.
He did a good job.
He did a good job.
I was hoping for Miles Morales to be the Spider-Man, but when they went back with Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's what I thought they was gonna go to next, because it seemed like Homecoming. It seemed like they took a little Miles Morales storyline and put it in. I'm like, hold on, what's going on here? Okay, well, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, they just kind of rebooted him.
So, hey, I understand Henry. He want to do these. He want to do it, but then you have writers, like I was telling on Savage Thumb earlier. Like, you got writers, you got all these other people that they got to do it. Then it's like that person want to do this different, and that one want to do this different.
Were you talking about the other Spider-Man that said, like, with Homecoming, they kind of lead it to that a little bit?
Nah. He was just saying, like, we was hoping that Miles Morales was Spider-Man.
I thought they hinted at that. Wasn't it when he was I forget what's his name?
Even with Mary Jane.
If they did, I didn't see.
Do you remember the Gambino guy?
They did. I don't know.
Mr. Gambino, when he was in the film, and he attached him to that car in the parking lot. He he hinted his nephew is Myers Morales or whatever it was.
I must got to go back and see that.
I might have to, I might have to go back and
Go
check
see
that
that.
out.
You know what I'm talking about. You know the scene, right?
Right, yeah, I know the scene.
Yeah, because he talks about his son or his nephew or his brother or somebody related to him. And
the reason why I said that is because just about this whole situation was booted from the Ultimate Universe, and that's the universe Miles Morales was in. Now,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Like when you look, you be like, huh? Okay, well, okay.
Yeah. Hey, so do y'all think The Witcher had anything to have anything to do with Superman and his contract as well? Because The Witcher is a season, and they one season turned into 2 seasons, but they don't have no Superman 2 coming out. And the only thing he got in the near future is a cameo in Shazam, and maybe
time
he gonna play.
constraints.
You want to know something about that? I hate to break the news to you. I was looking into that, and they were saying that he may not be. He's not even doing cameo. Yeah, that's how bad it got. Like, yeah, he's not doing no cameo, and that's one of the things he touched on too. He talked about that too.
wait, he was
Yeah,
supposed to
so
be fighting Black Adam, and
no cameo. Yep, that's why a lot of people was mad. That's why a lot of people. That's why this hype of it got bigger than what it, why everybody getting so angry. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean he's not going to be that? Because everybody already knew that he was supposed to. Yeah, that's not happening, bruh. That's not happening.
Interesting.
And he said he talked about that. That's what I'm saying. Like he talked like he wanted to do this, but he's trying to ask them like, what are y'all doing? But okay, let's just push it off for 4 or 5 years, and we focus on Supergirl. So you kind of like you kind of understand like how he feeling like. But I got all these other projects. Who knows what he got coming down the pipeline? Like you say, he's been good. Everybody know who he is, a successful actor. That everybody like him. They want him to do The Witcher. They want him to do this and this. And it's like, wow, I wanted to hurry up and do this Superman thing and get it out the way before all this other stuff come down the pipeline. But Warner Brother I don't know what Warner Brothers doing. It's like, what are y'all doing? Why can't you just do what Disney did? Let Marvel do it and just let DC do it. Like, I don't understand. But,
You think Warner Brothers got their hand in the cookie jar that deep?
yeah. Oh yeah. This says Warner Brother all over it. This says Warner Brother all over this. Because when I was reading some of the stuff that they were saying online, like, wait a minute, they want this movie to come out, this movie. So you're telling me everything that y'all the direction that y'all were trying to go, like Marvel was doing it, how Flash was gonna have his movie, they was gonna have this movie, they was gonna have this movie, all the heroes. Now it's not even that. It's all mixed up and stuff. Like that's why I was saying, like, certain directors don't want to do this. That director got this idea, all because of Warner Brothers. Want to say how to make this and this. Like we said it before, Warner Brothers was trying to make a one hit, bam. There you go, $1 million. No, it's not going to work that way. You can't do that. Like y'all don't have no game plan. It's like, man, it's like sport or something. All right, let's go out here. Let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, well, who gonna go next? Don't even worry about it. We just gonna go out here and you gonna do this. Like, wait a minute, we don't even got a plan. Don't worry about that. We just like, and they got their hands in it. Like, it's bad. It's really bad.
Walking Phoenix, his portrayal of the Joker is a whole standalone away from everything else, and they want to say that's the DC Dark. So I'm like, okay, so they rebooting a whole different universe on that end as well, or I don't know what they're doing. It's like everything is everywhere. Because when they was talking about that map, that's some
well,
recent news I was
actually, the Dark DC universe ain't really that off.
Yeah, but you think that's gonna be able to tie in with the main line?
It's not.
No, it's not.
The Dark universe had nothing to do. The Dark universe didn't have nothing to do with the main line in the first place.
So
Right. The only thing I will say is the directors of the movie, of the Joker origin movie, they said it's not canon. So don't come there. Don't be. I guess they saying it so don't be no person that coming there saying no. This is the real
DC has
origin of
never
Joker.
DC has never let out a real origins of the Joker.
Joker, yup. So whatever they decide to do in the movie, you cannot dispute or say, well, no, that's not canon. How would you know? Because they never said it. Up to the date, my
They
Cat
only
28 knows that he
implied
canon.
who the Joker is,
That's it.
and the fact when they came out that it's 3 different people made it even worse.
Yeah, 3 different Jokers.
Yup. They got three. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that's crazy though. But hopefully one day DC will get their mind right because their TV shows is on point. It's just they DCEU don't know
I
what the
don't.
fuck to do.
That's the whole crazy thing. I'm like, how your comic books are doing good, your animation, your cartoon movies are doing good, your TV shows doing good. How you messed up in a movie? Like, who does that? I don't get that. You don't have to be as good and better than all Marvel. Just do something good, something that's nice and pretty that would attract your audience or whatever. They're not even doing good far as in making it where it's dope for the casual. You're confusing the casual. Looking at DC, I don't know whether if I'm a hardcore fan or casual. Like, what is going on?
Right? They should have just stuck to that same tone as the Dark Knight. They should have stuck to that same tone, stuck to the same little format. Batman that got older and continue the story from there.
What did what did I say before? They did not. All they had to do is double up on these characters. All these characters do not have to be reintroduced. They could double up and double up. That's all they had to do. You could put Flash and Cyborg in a movie together. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Like all these characters don't individual movie. I mean, of course they may get their individual movie at one point in time, but there's nothing wrong with them being in a cameo or in a movie with these other superhero characters. DC got so many characters, which is ridiculous, that they can start with, but they don't know what they're doing with their main characters. So how would they know what to do with the other character, even a low level character?
Right? They could have did like Civil War, like with Iron Man and Captain America, where it was a Captain America movie, but it had a lot of Iron Man in it. So they could have did that with like a Flash and like you said, Cyborg.
Yeah, actually, Flip got a point because Flash and Cyborg come from the same city.
Yeah, I know, but that's when.
Hey guys, I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to bounce. We have to do Devin the Gamer tonight as well.
Okay.
So
yeah, we about to get out. We about to get out.
Sorry to do that to you guys, but man, it was good talking something outside of games for a change. This was a lot of fun. So.
All right, well, appreciate you for coming out, man. We got to get you back in here soon.
Thanks a lot, Don.
Absolutely, and I'll send you a link to that hint of Myers Morales and Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm with it.
All right, man. Later.
All right, be cool. All right, well, man, y'all ready to get up off here too and just go and because we get some gaming in before it get too late. We'd already hit by that 2-hour mark.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know we did a 2-hour mark. I think this was a very good show. I mean, but
everybody came out to watch. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love and the support. And we're gonna have another giveaway when I hit that 500 subs. So you know what I'm saying? I rock out with the people that rock out with me. That the people on the panel and the people on the chat. You know what I'm saying? We all family. We all talk about games. We all talk about Marvel, DC comic books, and all this other geeky, nerdy stuff. It's a good time to be alive. And y'all ready to get up out of here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue this on the Xbox Live. That's the after party show. So get that.
Peace.
Y'all be talking real reckless.
Oh, wait,